first person we are going to hear from is a very, very high-profile figure. You need to open your ears to this. Jasper, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here this evening, especially because I'm in a room full of such creative, beautiful people. I mean, give yourself a round of applause for getting here and looking good on the Edgware Road. Congratulations to Pauline. It's always tough for the first one. The first one is always hard. Lots of skeptics, lots of doubters, and the world knows that we've got our fair share of cynics, those who would decry any effort to improve and better ourselves. And I always like those that, notwithstanding that, strike out and decide they're going to create their own path. So, big respect to Pauline. I'm looking forward to the October event. When I get a nice buzz around that event, have lots of people demanding to get in, queues at the door, that sort of energy around the event. And let's face it, London is a creative capital, and we are a creative people within this capital. The African and Caribbean community spend £16.6 billion in disposable income every year in the United Kingdom. 4.4 of that billion pounds is spent here in London. And I had the pleasure of establishing Culture to Couture. I don't know if anybody came to those events. Culture to Couture, a fashion catwalk event. And when we began that, London Fashion Week said it wouldn't be done and there would be no interest in it. And it turned into one of these tremendously successful events we ever had. The last event, Naomi Campbell and Damon Dash turned up as guests of honour. And let me tell you something. I am bringing back Culture to Couture. I'm going to do it as a catwalk experience for black designers in the United Kingdom on Brixton High Street next summer. I'm going to need your support to do that. And I intend to do it because when we put on that event, what we found was we had some of the most brilliant designers that we'd seen throughout Europe. And let's face it, there can only be so much you can take of a sort of force-fed African-American, and I know they're our cousins and I love them deeply, but, it's the same thing, Hollywood, hip-hop, rah. Here we have, in London, an international African diaspora that speaks all the languages of Europe, all the languages of the world, and that can bring something fresh to the entertainment world other than the sort of Hollywood mass-produced hip-hop, girl in half-dressed in a hip-hop video doing booty call, etc. We want to raise the game. And let's face it, Africans here in Europe are a little more cultured, a little more, are you with me on the point? A little more intelligent. And we can raise our game. And we have great talent to do so. So as we approach October the 17th in this first anniversary event, I want people to get behind it. Remember that we here in London are the gateway to 22 million Africans in Europe, some of which don't have passports, can't travel, face enormous difficulties, 750 million people in the European market, and the rest of the world wants to trade with Europe, and we can be a gateway to that. But we've got to believe in ourselves, and it's the one thing that I think plagues us more than anything. You see, I have presidential swagger. I believe I can do anything that I want to do as long as I believe it. But what I find is that when you have opportunities for our people to rise up and to actually take leadership in events, our knees begin to tremble. Our psychology is not suited to those opportunities. So I'm hoping that you guys, and I see the confidence in this room and on this table, will take charge and say, you know what, it's time that we had an African-European Renaissance. It's time that black people in London led that Renaissance, and we don't let anybody stand in our way. Thank you very much. One more thing. My favourite artist, vote for Shady Blue. Fantastic singer.